with poverty, you can just, it humbles you. Just, your opinions don't matter. Nothing that you're going to say or you have to say. I mean, what could you say or what response would you be comfortable at maybe raising your hand in class and responding, knowing it very well that you are not even in the school uniform that you are supposed to be in that school. Most if you raise your hand, they are going to tell you when you're not even wearing the school's uniform, So why should I participate, So with that, it really disturbed me a lot at the primary school level. So I have people who would contact me via inbox at Mommy Lane and say, wow, Sneh, you are doing great. Why? Because they did not experience this version of me.
Okay.
Do you understand? They know this quiet joke pop out. That's the reason I chose education, because I wanted to help the people that are in the same situation that I was in. So imagine coming from school, carrying your bag, thinking about your homeworks, Yes, our kerang, it doesn't matter. We eat at school. But to find Uguti, your sister's being beaten by a mob justice, especially a taxi driver. What happened? No, she stole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, it was traumatic. I don't want to lie. And then she vanished for 4 years. She came back super sick. She was very sick. I was doing my last year at varsity when I found her December at home. It was recess. I came back. I couldn't even recognize her. You understand what was happening, So those things, so whatever she was doing, she brought me back to those situations of which I was like, you know what, I'm going to work hard to remove myself from these situations, only to have my sisters doing the same thing. And I always treat them as my children because I wanted to get them everything so that they don't need anything.
Now, this situation with her being beaten, how did you navigate that? Did you call an ambulance? What happened there?
Not really. I had my own way of dealing with things. I would block things away.
Okay.
And just don't feel anything. It was too much.
Did you ignore that whole situation?
I ignored it.
And you just walked home?
I didn't even go and watch. I walked home because what could I do?
So as you are passing, this is happening.
Yeah, people are coming and knocking at the door. Wow, mama, in my relationship, in my marriage, I failed dismally because I didn't know what a man is.
Okay.
You understand? No. I didn't know how to respect a man because in my own household, I've been a man for the longest time.
Hello and welcome back to the Hope Revolution Podcast. We are really grateful that you decided once again to join us on today's journey and story. The main objective of this podcast is to create an environment where people can come through and open up to share their challenges and difficulties. Now, once they share, it's up to me and you as a guest and a viewer to actually see and support them with whatever it is that they're struggling with. We really appreciate the love and support that you have shown us. But today we've got a guest that decided to take her time and come through to share. And I'm just going to hand it over to her so that she can tell us who she is. Sabona sis.
Sabona Jan Puti.
Konunjan.
Yeah, please.
Please just tell us who you are.
Okay, my name is Sinesipho Elenzwane. I'm well known as Mommy Lane because I'm the founder and the owner of Mommy Lane, the postpartum care kit. Well, I am a qualified educator with expertise in teaching senior and FET phase. I also specialize in accounting and economics. I also serve as a marker nationally. I mark national exams. So additionally, I'm a breastfeeding and postpartum care specialist. And currently, I'm busy with pursuing my certification for the International Board Lactation Consultation. I want to do that. So currently, I'm just serving my 500 hours of inpatient and outpatient in order for me to qualify to write the exam.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So mouthful, you're doing a lot of things. I don't even know where to start.
That's the thing. So please, can I explain this?
Okay.
to say that my passion for health-related matters stemmed from back in the days while I was still at varsity, and the fact that I am a mom.
Okay.
So at the varsity level, I was the SRC member serving as at the Northwest University, the Val Triangle campus. I was serving as a health and safety officer. That's where the love for the health-related stuff stemmed from while I was doing education as a qualification. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So my dedication and my leadership skills then led me to the institutional seat where I was elected as the institutional health and safety officer, where I would represent all three campuses at the Northwest University.
Nice.
So that's when I fell in love with the health related stuff, and knowing the degree, the educational degree, that is very difficult to move to another scope of work. So with this pathway 3 that gives us an option to practice such, I'm so grateful.
Oh, nice. Nice. Now, let's take it a step backwards a bit.
Yeah.
With your upbringing.
Yeah.
Would you say that also contributed to the course that you chose as well? Because you're saying you actually were looking into health and safety.
Yeah.
So before you came into the varsity environment, what inspired you to, go in that direction? Because the students that are in that space are also conflicted,
Yeah.
I want to do this, I want to do that. But what gave you that decision to say, this is what I want to do now?
To be honest, it was financially comfortable to become a health and safety officer coming from Orange Farm.
Okay.
I was born and bred in Orange Farm. I was raised by Ugogo. I did not have parents at the earliest of ages. So I had a really humbling background. I don't want to lie to you.
Okay.
So I saw it as an opportunity and I fell in love with it.
Okay.
So I am a very multifaceted person. And health-wise, yes, I was an HIV activist at the varsity level because, hey, I've seen people dying while watching them. I think that also is a contributing factor to my mental issues, that I found myself dealing with as I grew up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go back to your parents. What happened?
I was born from 14-year-olds. My mom and dad were 14 years old. So basically, I did not have a normal nuclear childhood where you would find a mother, wiping their daughter's face, I love you, go to school, those hugs. I never really experienced that. I only got that from my grandmother.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So when you were born, your mother was present as well?
A bit, because she was attending school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine. But she was around. You would see her and engage with her as you grew. Would you say you had that kind of relationship with her? What kind of relationship actually did you have with your mother as you were growing?
I was actually afraid of her.
Okay.
I think she had mental health issues. Yeah. Yeah.
She was challenged by the situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so, because she had other children, with somebody else.
Okay.
And they moved out. I was left with my grandmother. Yeah.
That must.
And then they came back when they were very sick.
So both your parents.
Yeah,
Just
my
your
father, after my mom had a relationship with my stepfather, then my father, I would see him once in a while. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you never really got to properly relate with your mother. Okay. No, I think I totally understand now with their absence. And then once I assume that when they came back in that state that they came back in,
It disturbed me.
it disturbed you.
Yeah.
Where were you in terms of life? Were you at school?
I was doing grade 7. Yeah. And by the time, I think my grandmother was very young as well, because when my mom started getting sick, or when she passed away, so we were left with my grandmother. My grandmother at the time, she wasn't even getting paid like your pension, So that's why I'm saying that, the type of struggles that I faced during that time, it was more of negligence, because we later found out when we went to do the death certificate and stuff for my mother that she was married to a Nigerian. So that prevented us from getting grants. So we were very poor. People who were attending primary school with me would tell you that I was pretty much quiet. So they didn't know me. I would pop jokes and laugh. So that's my thing. that, what, a lot of people did not experience the kind of a person that I am from the primary school and high school, just because of the things that I was going through as a child. And I was not able to articulate what I'm feeling or what is going on. I remember the time when in grade 7 I had to, can I mention the school?
Yeah, you can.
So I went to a primary school in Orange Farm, Kazan Primary School. Okay. So people who are from Orange Farm, they know that our community is far away from the primary school. So I had to walk after school carrying an ice cream tub to go get 1 meal. There's at our community where you would get 1 meal per day, so that I can come back and share with the rest of the family. Do you understand? So I did not have time to focus at school. At school, maybe there are a lot of educators that are seeing me now, and then they were like, who is this? So I think my matric, or passing my matric, was a ticket for life. Do you understand? For me, it was the best thing to do for me to explore myself. I started getting exposure and getting to know myself better and getting to be a kid again while I was at varsity, because they say, I think the motto at the Northwest University says that it all starts here. I was a very reserved child. I had no opinions. I can attest to the fact that, with poverty, you can it humbles you. You just, your opinions don't matter. Nothing that you're going to say or you have to say. I mean, what could you say, or what response would you be comfortable at maybe raising your hand in class and responding, knowing it very well that you are not even in the school uniform that you are supposed to be in that school. Most if you raise your hand, they are going to tell you when you're not even wearing the school's uniform, So why should I participate, So with that, it really disturbed me a lot at the primary school level. So I have people who would contact me via inbox at Mommy Lane and say, wow, Sneh, you are doing great. Why? Because they did not experience this version of me. Do you understand? They know this quiet joke popper. That's the reason I chose education, because I wanted to help the people that are in the same situation that I was in and let them shine, break that ice from them, break those walls, So as a teacher, especially teaching it in the township, there's a lot of work that we do.
Yeah. I really would like to paint a picture of your household.
Yeah.
In terms of, because you spoke about the fact that your mom had other children.
Yeah.
And you probably were living in a household that had other people.
Yeah.
How many were you? Who were you staying with in that house?
It was my cousin, my grandmother, myself, and my mom's other 2 children, which are my sisters, biological sisters. Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of you trying to get the meals, you were trying to fend for them.
Fend for all of those people. Yeah, because my cousin's sister was old and very clever by the time. I think she was around her teens.
Okay.
So she didn't want to go there. I mean, I knew if I don't go there, there's a high possibility that you're going to sleep without having something to eat. Do you understand? And then it went on and on and on until I went at high school. At high school, it was a bit better because you would communicate to those teachers that are allocating foods, like the foods that they would cook for the school, to say, you know what, ma'am, this is the situation. So they would always give me some leftovers, 1 liter milk and veggies and everything else. Yeah.
And how was the relationship with you and the people that were staying there?
Well, to be honest with you, that really did damage me, because I ended up being a very masculine woman.
Okay.
I knew that I have to fend for this family as an SRC member. I would, when I get paid, because you do get paid for that position, and I also got merit bursaries because I was doing very well at school.
Yeah.
So when I get paid, I would make sure that my sisters don't experience what I experienced. So I would buy the uniform and everything, Okay. So that position really dealt with me, because now I'm an old woman. I have a partner that I need to respect, and I'm now confused of my position. You understand? What am I? Because the rest of my life I've been the provider. Do you understand? But now I have to let this person lead. Do you understand? So it did affect me a lot. And that is what I'm dealing with currently.
So that's on the transition as you were coming to adulthood and becoming your own woman. I also want to move from your family environment? Because I understand now that you had to provide for them at a young age.
Yeah.
You had to try and see what it is that was, lacking and trying to fill the gaps.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about now your transition. Now you are at school, and then you go through all the challenges. You finish matric. Obviously, that's an achievement.
Yeah.
What I want to know is, how do you then get to varsity? Because the challenge with most children that are matriculants and that are struggling with what you went through is a lack of information.
Yeah.
How did you overcome such mental stigmas?
Okay, as a person, I'm a big dreamer. I don't want to lie to you.
Okay.
I dream big. So at that time, I knew that, if I could get a matric certificate and get good marks, this is my meal ticket. This is the chance to change my life. You understand? So I did that, did very well. And one thing that led me to education, I love this question, is because I did not have proof enough that I was poor, because, most with NSFAS, you need to prove that I don't have a mother, I do not have a father. Back then, the birth certificates would not mention the mother and the fathers, The only important person would be your mother. Do you understand? So with me not receiving my mother's death certificate just because she got married to a Nigerian, unknowingly, as a family, didn't know that. We knew that when we went to fetch the death certificate. Do you understand? So there was nothing that could actually fund me apart from the Funza Lushaka bursary, which is for education. I had applied for the BCom accounting and the B.Ed. That's why I majored in accounting and economics, because I love those subjects. You understand? So I knew that, if I do not get this funding, then it's over for me.
Then it's finished.
So that's how I did it. And it did not require a lot of documentation. It would be your ID and your matric results, then you are in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Now, I want to also dive into that Nigerian story.
Yeah.
To say that, can you tell us a little bit more about that? When you discovered it, what happened basically?
Okay. I was a child. I was 12 years old at the time, but I heard my grandmother saying that when she went it was on the day of the burial, she would ask the burial people to say, why am I not getting that certificate? And then they said, no, there was a problem. They gave us this letter. And then she went after the burial to say, what is going on? No, Mama, your child was married to a Nigerian. The surname is so and so and so. So now we are questioning whether these children are Nigerians. Do you understand? Now it was perceived that we are also Nigerians. That's why we did not receive the social grants. Do you understand? Wow. And then after investigation, I remember I was it was my second year working. That's when the social workers assisted with the thingy, and my principal at school, she was the biggest contributor to that. And then we finally got the death certificate. So my other sisters do have IDs now. They also had a problem. They wrote matrics without having the IDs. I was lucky because at my school at that time, they would just call us, if you're 17, just come and take a photo and have an ID. So they would give you a handout of IDs, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
Just like that.
Wow. Yeah, I'm really happy that you opened up about that and how it affected you, that your father, who you didn't know, or stepfather, is Nigerian.
Yeah.
And he appears on your mother's documents.
Yeah.
And that then stopped you from having access to local benefits, like your bursaries and stuff
things
like that.
Things that we were entitled to as per situation. I mean, I think we had to get the orphan grant. What is it called? We had to get that. I think it's 1 point something. The situation would have turned really, really better. So I think that, yes, it was worse. The situation was worse, but it could have been better. Just because of negligence and the actions that my mother did at the time brought us to the worst situations ever. Yeah.
Wow.
And one of my sisters actually went into crystal meth because she was stressed out. Having matric and not being able to use it, it's something else.
Something else.
Because you don't have an identification.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, I think that's something for those sisters of ours to note, that when you start dating outside of our country, think about the children. But these days it's much better because on your birth certificate, you will have then both parents there.
Definitely.
So yeah, it's the situation is much better now. So thankfully, we can go for the tall, dark, and ensembles now. I really think you are someone who's got a strong will, right? Anyone who would have gone through what you went through in those early days would have been shattered. I really would like to know now, to say that you got the bursary, you are now in tertiary. How was your first experience? I mean, personally for me, it was a thing, but this is not about me. So I want to know, how was your experience going into varsity that first week, that first day?
Okay, what motivated me was that at the Northwest University, specifically my race, they would place you academically. So whatever room you're allocated, it's because you deserve it. You got the marks. Do you understand?
Okay.
So seeing myself in a corridor where my next door is from what war school gave me a chance to say, you know what? Manje ngiseyintangeni zami, I need to act. Do you understand? It was not the thing of being silenced because of poverty. I was now, okay, then I started very, very on my first year. In July, I went for elections. I won.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, as a leader. Then I've been a leader until I finished varsity.
So you never got outed. You
No,
maintained.
actually, they wanted to vote for me as the first female president at the Northwest University, and then I could not pursue my education and do an honors degree at the time because I know what I left at home. I had to go back home, support them, and work. That was my main.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had to sacrifice your dreams.
Yeah.
In order to provide for
Yeah.
your family.
Yeah.
And intentionally making that decision, how did it? What was it? A heavy decision to make?
I don't want to lie to you. You know, if you love someone, I loved my grandmother so much. And she was the person who showed me love. So I wanted to do everything for that woman.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was not that difficult. It is now that she's gone that I'm starting to face difficulties. I once resigned from my duties as an educator because I felt that, you know what, this is too much. I'm tired of providing for my sisters. When are they going to stand up? Yabo? And I'm tired of being very, very masculine and having this first line of response because I'm the first one to go to varsity in my house, first one to have a car, first one to do this, first one to do that. I was tired of that, and it got better of me, and I
The pressure got too much.
Yeah, it got too much. It got too much because I wanted to live my life now.
Okay.
I wanted to just get off this thing of being a support system and being everything, a pillar of strength. I didn't want to do that. And there are a lot of things. I was also facing complicated grief. I can't cry. It is now that I'm crying. I can't cry. I have a problem. This thing, I was actually thinking about this on my way here to say, these cartoons about, what is this, Cocomelon, everything.
Yes.
They actually teach our children how to behave because I did not know how to express my feelings, like express and tell someone that, you know what, I am upset now.
Okay.
I cannot continue with this conversation moving forward.
Makes sense.
The only thing I could express was anger.
Yeah, because you're always in a disciplinary.
Yeah, because I'm a disciplinarian,
You're
I'm
strong
the
for other
eldest.
people.
Yeah, I can now, when in my relationship, in my marriage, I failed dismally because I didn't know what a man is.
Okay.
You understand? I didn't know how to respect a man because
Okay.
in my own household, I've been a man for the longest time.
I really feel like we're gonna get to that. So I'm really curious about that. But I wanna dive now into this thing that you're talking about, to say that you were tired of being the provider.
Yeah.
What sort of situation got you there? What was happening?
I think that the thing that brought those feelings was the passing of my grandmother. Having to get a call at work telling you that your grandmother is no more. And you go to the hospital, identify them. You go to an extent of washing the corpse. That experience, the person that you loved, got better of me, and arrangements, the funeral arrangements, everything you have to take care of. No one is coming and saying, you know what, how can I assist? How much do you need? No one is saying that. You have to arrange everything at my age. Do you understand? Everyone is asking me, okay, what's going to happen now? What are we going to do? At my age, I felt that this is too much.
How old were you then?
I was 28.
Okay.
Yeah, at the time. So I was like, no, this is too much. You understand? And then after then, my sisters, my other sisters, My other sister, the one who was on crystal meth, she used to do silly things by the community, and I was teaching so close to my household. It would be a walking distance from my household to my workplace. So people around the community or the kids that I would teach there would know the problems that I'm facing personally at home. Do you understand? So imagine reprimanding someone else's child, yet they know better of you. You understand? And they know everything that is happening behind,
Would she share?
Yeah.
Okay, so you should tell people about your problems.
They would know that yo uthini manje umzala. Yo,
Okay.
thina yamazi umntanakho. Yeah, but so what is that? So I decided to say, you know what? I've heard enough. I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore.
Okay.
So
basically, the passing of your grandmother brought you to a higher level where you were like, okay,
I'm tired.
yeah, you're tired.
Yeah.
And then your sister who does crystal meth, at what point did you discover that she's started with that?
Well, while I was at varsity, I came back and found out that she has been busy with that. Yeah, because I was very strict, So when I came back, I started focusing on my life. I bought my car, I was, got out of the house and everything else. So they lost that, and my grandmother was old by then. She didn't have power to.
Who was that one person to now have determined that this person is off?
The community, they would come and tell you, good, hey, mamela la, mntana kini aka esikolweni phela uhlala ngale. Kwenzakalani wenza so. Wenza so manje sekuso manje beka ngale. And I do have a traumatic experience with that. She's not the first one to do drugs in my household.
Oh.
So my cousin sister, the one I was talking about, that she was very smart at the time we were struggling. When she did I think Inyaupe, and then she got lost for 4 years. I experienced a lot. I remember when I was doing grade 11 in high school, when I was coming back, walking home, I met people. A lot of people were like, oh, shame. Marisono alimdana. And then what's going on? Only to realize that my other sister, my cousin sister, was being bitten by Umpagati, mob justice.
Oh, wow.
So imagine coming from school, carrying your bag, thinking about your homeworks, Yes, our kerang, it doesn't matter. We eat at school. But to find Wuti, your sister's being beaten by a mob justice, especially a taxi driver, what happened? No, she stole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, it was traumatic. I don't want to lie. And then she vanished for 4 years. She came back super sick. She was very sick. I was doing my last year at varsity when I found her December at home. It was recess. I came back. I couldn't even recognize her. You understand what was happening, So those things, so whatever she was doing, she brought me back to those situations of which I was like, you know what, I'm going to work hard to remove myself from these situations, only to have my sisters doing the same thing. And I always treat them as my children because I wanted to get them everything so that they don't need anything. Yeah,
now, this situation with her being beaten, how did you navigate that? Did you call an ambulance? What happened there?
Not really. I had my own way of dealing with things. I would block things away.
Okay.
And just don't feel anything. It was too much.
Did you ignore that whole situation?
I ignored it.
And you just walked home?
I didn't even go and watch. I walked home because what could I do?
So as you are passing, this is happening.
Yeah, people are coming and knocking at the door. Oh, mama, kanovula cela uyobheka umntwana. And mama at the time was my grandmother. Her mom also passed away. Yeah, but so that was traumatic, and also as well for her to come back after being lost or after she has gone missing for 4 years, and coming back in that state.
So when she went missing, who picked it up and after how long?
My grandmother, she went to look for her even in hospitals. I remember she was actually talking about it at church. So she did try to look for her. Yeah, a lot. But with no luck until she got a call to say, hi, Mama Njani Pila, are you staying at this and this and this address? And then she said yes. And then she said, we have your daughter here. She's very sick. Can you come and see her? She was so happy. Unfortunately, she was by the wheelchair at the time. So my grandmother couldn't even recognize her. She was standing right next to her until she said, Mosi voice doesn't change. Mama. And then when she's like, yo,
It's a,
can't do that.
that
It was
couldn't
too
have been
much.
easy.
Yo.
And your grandmother had a lot to deal with.
A lot to deal with. I think she was the strongest person. Yeah, a lot to deal with. Not forgetting the fact that she had buried almost all of her children while she was still alive.
And she was the last one
Yeah,
to
she
go.
had 6 children.
And she buried all of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yo,
That must, that's
the
something else,
worst
eh?
pain ever. It's nothing that I can handle myself. Yeah.
Okay, so she comes back now after all those 4 years having disappeared. Where was she? What was going on? Where she was?
The stories she would tell my grandmother, because I was still at varsity, was that she was in a relationship with a Nigerian also as well. And they used to traffic drugs. She did mention that. And I think when you get weaker and weaker and weaker, they now throw you off to the streets. And then she
Okay.
stayed by the streets. And there was a lady who went to take off their trash at Johannesburg, CBD. And then she called an ambulance to say, hey, this person is dying. They took her to, what was the hospital? Wadman Jablan, what?
Okay. Yeah, Jablani Hospital. That should be in
It's
Soweto.
like what Jabula, yeah.
Okay. All right. So now that's where you guys find her.
Yeah.
Fortunately, she still remembers her address, her home address.
Yeah.
The number, your grandmother's number. So at least she still has a refuge there.
Yeah.
All right. So how old are you as this is happening now? Now we're getting back to the funeral situation now to say how old you said you were 28.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what happens from then? Are you dating someone?
Yeah.
What's your personal situation like?
Yeah, I do have a partner. He's very supportive. So he helped me through all of that.
Okay.
Yeah, he is actually my pillar of strength.
Oh, nice. So let's get into that then, where we're talking about you indicating that your masculinity almost hurt you from a relationship point of view. Maybe also diving into the relationship, where and how did you meet your partner?
Okay. Actually, let me start here. I met my partner in Randburg.
Okay.
I used to stay in Orange Farm as well. So I would have, with the people that I had, I was leading with at the Northwest University, we still have a very close relationship. So we would have meetings where we were building a venture capital. It's our own business. We're trying to build residential areas for students, So upon those meetings, that's where I met my partner.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that one thing? Because I assume as a masculine, modern, independent woman, you're very defensive.
Yeah.
Against men specifically.
Yeah.
So what is it that he did special? I'm sure there were other guys that were trying.
He's very intelligent. And I really like a man when a man comes in the door, his energy speaks for itself. I don't want you to talk to me. I want you to capture me. Do you understand?
Okay.
I like the fact that when she enters the room, she grabs attention. That's what I like in a man. Yeah, that's what I saw. It's okay. I can actually talk to this person. Yeah.
Right. So you want someone who is of a higher caliber. That is it a thing of dominance to say you want an alpha male?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't want your softies.
I cannot do softies because I think that I'm very much masculine. I'm an alpha female.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that brings me to your perception of leadership.
Yeah.
Obviously you're looking for a leader in a male, hence we say alpha male.
Yeah.
But what sort of character would that be in your perspective?
To be honest, I don't want to lie to you. It is something that I just discovered of recent, that actually in my partner, I'm looking for a father and a boyfriend at the same time. After dressing up, I want him to say, my love, you look very much beautiful. I want to say, I'm going somewhere and I'm going alone with my friends. I want him to accept that. You understand? I want best of both. And that's a conversation that I had with my partner to say, you know what, I feel that I'm being unfair because maybe you did approach me seeing how I'm wearing, seeing just the outside, thinking that you're going to get yourself a partner. And now you find you find yourself in a position where sometimes you have to baby this person. You understand? That's what I enjoy. I don't want to lie about it. And if I like acts of service, if I'm seated and my partner was like, you know what, I've run you a bath, please go and wash.
Oh, nice.
Perfect.
All right.
I want you to talk to me.
Okay.
I want you to kiss me by the forehead.
Okay.
I want you to baby me.
No, nice.
Yeah.
It really is quite fresh to hear someone who knows what they want clearly.
Yeah.
Because people think they know what they want.
Yeah.
And very short into relationships, even business relationships, you then discover that this person actually doesn't know what they want. They think they do, but they don't know. And there's that thing with partners where I personally, for me, you should always foresee my needs. After we spend some time, you should be able to say, "Lo uso man, nyamaz, so umtu amlo, I'm gonna do this because they always do this." Maybe not to take you away from the subject too long, just digress a little. I was always that child that would fall off the bed.
Okay.
It was just natural. I was just be in the center. Next thing I'm this side. Next thing I'm down.
Yeah.
My partner would say, no. We're switching.
Yeah.
Because even at adulthood, I had that thing where I just
yeah, it happens.
So that automatically by default she just says, just come this side, I'll be here.
Yeah.
And I'll be your block. You won't go over to the other side.
So she knows you. Yeah.
So I guess you in that definition come through with that sort of element where you're saying I'm looking for someone who's going to play that role in my life.
Yeah, but I did make a mistake.
Okay.
I was in a relationship prior this partner that I have now with a wound partner. I like to call him a wound partner because we were from the same secondary school. We almost faced the same type of struggles, and we both didn't have parents. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I go up.
Wow.
I go. Then I saw, no, this is not what he wants.
Okay.
Yeah, well, then I left.
All right.
Yeah.
So tell me about your definition of a partner then when you met him. What were you looking for?
I was looking for someone who would understand where I'm coming from, my struggles. When I tell them, namhlanje nginomzwangedwa man, nginalento yokuthi ngabe bekukhona, so I would get a warm hug. Yabo umuntu ongeka athi uyadefa lo into zakhe ukuthi uzwa nje uyagula lo gele yabona bengafuni danger. Yeah. I was looking for someone who would share.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what went wrong?
It's because I felt that at the time, the person was not focused too much into where we are going and where we're coming from. So he wanted to play, and have some time. I mean, I don't have time.
Okay.
That's the thing about me. At age 40, I should have been resigned. At the time, I should be owning my businesses. That's what I'm all about,
Okay.
I don't want to play, and that's my thing.
All right. Yeah. So you felt that there was a big lack of commitment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I get you. All right. I'm quite happy to have heard that you've transitioned to a better space. Mm-hmm. So what happens then? We're still talking about the story of your life. Now you're in the, this space where you have transitioned from the loss of your grandmother.
Yeah.
Now you're with your partner. Now you've resigned.
Yeah.
Now I think that's where we are, to say you've taken that decision to say I'm resigning.
Yeah.
Do you take that, like when you get to that decision?
Yeah.
Because I've been there before. So I want to know, to say, how does it feel to actually write that letter?
It feels great. I don't want to lie to you because I just came back from work. I told my partner to say, you know what? I can't do this anymore. And then he said, what are you going to do? I told him that I have a business idea. I want to start mommy laying.
Okay.
What are you going to do? I'm going to sell postpartum care kits or pre-packed packages for mothers who are about to give birth and just make the bathing journey a bit easier. Then he's like, okay, not a problem. We can take that risk. So when are you going to resign? I said, tomorrow. And then he said, okay, that's fine. You better start drafting your letter. And then I drafted half of it. When I got to work the following morning, I finished it off. I sent it to him. He said, number one. I said, gave it to my principal. Printed it out, gave it to my principal.
Then you were gone.
No, I wasn't gone. My principal said to me, you know what? Because you are teaching matric, can you kindly serve the 3 months? Because
Okay.
you know, Mos, you are the only one we have for now. And I was like, okay, not a problem. It's not like I'm going to start my meeting tomorrow. So I served my notice
Okay.
for the first 3 months. Not before I got to the 3 months, to the 3 months mark, I got a call from my neighborhood or someone from my neighborhood saying that one of my sisters has consumed a poison. So I had to go run to the hospital. Then I lost it. I broke down there right on the spot. My principal was like, what's going on? You are not okay. Please drive home immediately and never come back to school until you receive a call from the Department of Education. I said, okay. Then I went to take care of that. And then I went home. When I got home, I received a call, I think in 2 days, from the wellness department asking how am I, asking me questions about my upbringing and everything. I told them that. They said, okay, we are going to arrange an appointment with one of our therapists so that you can see them face to face and talk to them and get assessment. So I did that. Upon that, I was told right on the spot that the issue is big. You have to be hospitalized. How all of a sudden I thought I was clever, just resigned from my workplace and everything. Kanti, I was overwhelmed. That's when I got admitted in a mental institution, Life Brackenview Hospital, 21 days.
Hey, bro.
And then I was diagnosed with depression and major depression and burnout syndrome because I was too tired.
This is like a plot twist. I'm thinking you're telling me about just a situation where So let's talk about the poison first. Let's go back to the poison.
Yeah.
What happened there?
I don't know what was going on with her. I think that she said that she thought she was pregnant again. She's got children.
Okay.
So she thought she was pregnant again and she tried to terminate the pregnancy. So I was like, why didn't you go the normal route? The clinic route. It's safe, And then that just happened.
Okay. So that was her attempt to terminate the pregnancy.
And it dealt with her.
Oh. Did she has long-term effects?
No, not really. I think she's very weak.
Okay.
But
yeah, she's quite brave. She's quite brave, I must say. Okay, so I'm happy that you dealt with that. So tell me about now this diagnosis.
Oh, I cried so much I couldn't believe it myself. But my psychiatrist said to me, you've been through a lot. Just be kind to yourself. And I got a 6 months, it's not chronic. I got a 6 months prescription during that year. And I took my medication and I'm off them. I'm okay. However, with the current case that I'm facing of my child, the ADHD one, I realized that they said depression is a byproduct of an undiagnosed ADHD, and ADHD is genetic. That's the thing about it. So my thing is, okay, let me book some appointments so that I can get checked as well, if that is the case.
Now you're taking me to some places because we talked about this 2 minutes ago.
So
and I thought, no, this is just a comment in passing, But now I'm like thinking, okay.
Yeah.
So, but tell me then, because we're talking about now your diagnosis.
Yeah.
What was the route that you took to get, or that the department took you through to get to that diagnosis? Because many of us are probably dealing with this thing. I'm probably dealing, because that's, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm probably dealing with this and I don't even know. So what route would one take to get to a point where you say, this is real, I'm dealing with this kind of thing?
Okay, because I have went through a certain route. Postpartum, I felt the same way as I felt a little bit better, but I knew that I was overwhelmed. So I went to my doctor, Dr. van der Walt in Alberton, and I told him my baby was 4 months old. But hey, I'm not coping. This child is too much. My baby was very active. I don't want to lie to you. It's something that I've never seen before. So he was like, take these. He gave me Nuzek. It's antidepressants. And then he said that you'll take it for 12 weeks, I think, if I'm not mistaken, or 4 months. I can't remember clearly. So that's where I saw, okay, if you are feeling overwhelmed, you can talk to your GP and they can refer you to a psychiatrist. But my route was me getting a call from the Department of Education, getting assessed via the phone and getting to talk to a therapist and then getting admitted from the appointment, I was just that lady made a few calls to Akiso in Albertine or Life Break and View, and then saying that this is a high risk case. We need to admit this person. So I was admitted. Hey, I was so emotional. I did not believe. Hey, madoda nakungena
I would have told them,
kulesibhedlele sinje.
you're lucky.
Uyasilapha
You're fine.
kunjani?
What are you talking about?
What? I cried the whole way. My partner was like, you need this. You're going to come back. You're going to be fine. Hey, I didn't want to go there. But I went, and they don't just immediately diagnose you. You get to talk to maybe 5 specialists, psychiatrist, an occupational therapist, a psychologist, a social worker, and I don't know, a therapist or a counselor. You talk to a lot of people every day, each and every day. And then I think they come together and decide. Especially the psychiatrist is the one who decide on what is going on with you.
Okay.
Yeah. So at the time I was diagnosed.
Is this
with
happening
depression.
before you go to the mental institution?
It happens at the mental institution, the assessments and stuff. I was diagnosed in the mental institution, while I was still there.
You know the stigma with mental institutions to say,
No, that's why I openly talk about it, because it happens. And I saw my grandmother going through depression while, I saw it happening. She used to cry. My grandmother passed on when she was 75. But I think at around 74, 73, she would cry every day, telling me about her childhood traumas, telling me that she was raised by a stepmom, and then the stepmother didn't buy her undies. They would sew bawatungi from the father's leather jackets. Akale.
oh, shucks.
Akale. These things come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they keep...
They keep on coming back. That's the thing. So you just need to deal with it and find new ways to navigate your new life. And actually, I got a lot of assessments. They were also assessing the type of work that I would do. I'm actually introverted. The only thing that made me extroverted or to seem as if I am a talkative person, it's because of I had to do that in order to fend for myself. You're going to find yourself in a problem.
It is a survival tactic.
So people do drain me. So I'm always in my house, doing my own stuff. It's better to just make a video on TikTok and talk to a camera and get your word out there. But you cannot do that in front of a lot of people. I would do that as a leader, as I've been leading and manifesting and wanting people to vote for me. It is because it was encouraged by, but I can't really do that in my everyday life. I'm not that person.
Okay. So what I'm picking up from what you're saying as I analyze what you're bringing to me is that all that you are is what life forced you to be.
Yeah.
And naturally, you are not that person.
I'm not.
You've had to become this person. Yes. And this person that you are was hurting the natural you.
Yeah. A lot. That's when I broke down at work.
Okay.
Luckily enough, my principal at the time, she's now an IDSO. She was very much aware of the mental health issues.
Okay.
And the level of work that we're doing, and me teaching matric, it's strenuous. It's not that simple, So and the children that I have to raise, she knew everything about me. So she was like, you are not okay, and I'm going to stop your resignation, but you're going to be on leave for a year.
Okay.
Yeah. That's where I started Mommy Lane. I did everything business-wise.
Yeah.
And here we are. The business doing great. And we are doing well.
Wow. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. This was a beautiful experience. This is part 1. We're going to come back to you now with part 2. We're going to break it up and pick it up on the next one. So on the next one, we're going to jump into the ADHD. Because I feel that we must have a deeper discussion with regards to what that is.
Yeah.
I assume that there's a lot of people that deal with that don't know that they're going through the same.
Yeah.
We're also going to deal with how this affected your child and how you're handling it, basically.
Yeah.
We're also going to talk about the postpartum services that you offer.
Okay.
Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in on this amazing episode. We're diving into the journey and, getting to know a little bit about our guest, and also just diving into her life and reflecting on the different experiences and memories that she has from her upbringing. We really appreciate the love that you give us. We really appreciate the support that you've showed us. And please do subscribe, please do like, please do share. But most importantly, don't forget, sharing is caring. If you don't share, we don't know how to care. See you on the next one.